Hey, Eric,
What?
what do you call a sad strawberry?
It's outstanding in his field. What? What do you call a
What do you
sad
call a
strawberry?
sad strawberry? Yeah,
What do you call it?
a blueberry. Frank and Bill are dead. Anyway, welcome, everybody, to another episode of The Last of Us, the podcast.
The phases of
That's
us.
the phase of us. The last
Today,
phase of us.
we're covering episode 4, which premiered
Mhm.
this past Sunday.
Yep.
It was a traveling episode. Which, by the way, one of my favorite parts of this episode was the traveling montage to Hank Williams. It was
Right. Okay.
very nice.
Uh-huh. Before we get into that, it's time for your favorite segment that only has happened once before.
The smash of the cast?
Everybody. No.
Oh,
No. Ooh, I do have to bring back the Smash of the Cast, don't I? Shit.
really? You should.
So many segments, but no. Joe had to go do stuff in Denver, and Joe stopped at a bookstore. Therefore, it's time for Joe's Book Club. Da, 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 boom. I have books that I bought. I bought books, Eric.
What are they?
I bought several books. Shall
What
we
are
get into
they?
these books? All right. First off, I'm a big fan of Batman. Specifically, what type of Batman, Eric?
The Bat Family.
The Bat Fam. So I bought Red Hood comics, bitches. Red Hood and the Outlaws, baby. Jason, the second Robin, just fucking around with Starfire and Red Arrow, or Arsenal, as he wants to be called. Whatever. And in this one, he hangs out with Bizarro and Artemis, another red-haired chick. It turns out that Jason just has a thing for redheads, which makes me feel more connected to him than most of the other Bat Family members. Hey. Next up, I also have more graphic novels. I have Critical Roles, The Mighty Nine Origins, specifically Yasha Nydoran. This is going to be sad. I know it's going to be sad because her backstory was sad. But this is the comic version of her backstory. And Tales of Exandria, the Bright Queen. It's a backstory on an NPC that's really fucking cool and badass. So, also, there's like a fucking...
I don't think I understand what Critical Role is.
Critical Role is a live play show of Dungeons and Dragons.
What? How? There's books, though. What are those books filled with?
Extra lore and content.
Oh, based on their Dungeons and Dragons. Interesting. Wow.
Yeah. They have an animated series on Amazon.
What?
Yeah, The Legend of Vox Machina Season 2 has started every Thursday. 3 new episodes.
What a genius way to make a living. You just get to fucking play Dungeons and Dragons.
They literally were partnered up with another company, then decided to go off on their own and make their own company. So Critical Role is their own company where they are a bunch of nerdy-ass voice actors playing tabletop RPGs. There are rumblings that they might not be in D&D soon anymore because of all the bullshit Wizards of the Coast tried to do.
That's right.
Yeah, and that would be happen.
That would be a real dig to what they're doing. I found a die in my house recently, and I texted Kevin a picture of it.
Ooh, is it Kevin's metal die? Because he asked me about it.
It was Kevin's metal die. Which
he accused me of it, and I was like, Kevin,
well,
when's the last time you fucking had that die? Because it's been 4 years since I moved out here, sir.
To be fair, he accused me also, and my response was, Kevin, I would never lose your die.
No, but then Kevin would lose his die at your house, I believe.
Well, and then I found it like a year later. Anyway, I was like, is this yours? He said, no, it's not. I was like, yes, it fucking is. Nobody else brings dice over here. And then he was like, wait, that's my Critical Role metal die. I was like, what the fuck? How do they have dice? What does that mean?
They have several different dice sets. I have the D20 sets of the original season 1 characters. They all have their own personalized character D20s.
Oh, I
love them.
That's crazy.
I love them. Yeah, all the 20 symbols are different symbols based on the characters. It's super
cool. Them. All right, what other books you got?
I got a brand new copy. Well, I guess it's not new. But it's new to me. It's a copy of Stormfront, the very first book in the Dresden Files series, except it's a different, alternative art color, and it's cool. And my copy is so old and worn and like bent, so I'm like, oh, I want this. This is nice. And this one is the brand new book I've not seen. This is a Dungeons and Dragons related shopping trip. This is Legends and Lattes. This is the story after a D&D campaign about a group of adventurers who open a coffee shop.
Okay.
Legends and Lattes. Look at them. Isn't that nice?
I think maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. This is about all the small stuff, all the small things. Taking a breath, one would say.
Well, now that we've done Joe's book club, we're gonna
Joe's
do
book club.
Eric's things that I can grab from here.
Eric's things that he can grab from here. Oh, that sign doesn't look nearly as nice.
This Pentaceratops plastic.
What the fuck?
He's really getting washed out by the ring light.
It's washed out as shit, bro. Back it up.
There it is.
Okay.
It's plastic. It's, I think, from Target. Then we have a high chew wrapper. It's strawberry.
Okay.
And
sorry,
styrofoam Pepsi cup. Empty. Don't know when this is from.
Clean your room.
I also have a copy of Elle. With I don't know who Kaya Gerber is. So that's Eric's book club, and I'm really looking forward to getting into that high chew wrapper. From here,
Jesus fucking Christ!
How do I segue into The Last of Us? Joe, help me.
Oh my God! Jesus fucking Christ! I guess.
Hey Joe,
why did Joel? Okay, go for it.
Why did the Scarecrow get a medal?
You just gonna say the one from because he was outstanding in his field?
Yeah, I like that one. That was a joke from The Last of Us this week, episode 4.
It was. They brought out the joke book. Very happy that they had the joke book.
I'm very happy that they had the joke book also. There were some key differences in this episode.
There were some, but there's definitely also some more shot for shots, which I really enjoyed.
There were. The biggest difference, though, was that there was that lady, Kathleen, who runs the place where Sam and his brother are from. In this episode, if you've played the Last of Us game, they come across 2 kids who are running from what in the game? Do you remember exactly?
Well, they were just part of everything that was going on. I think
they weren't. It wasn't like they were running from a faction of people like they are.
They probably were. There was just a faction of people being assholes, but they kind of just found each other, you know.
Yeah, and that was a difference too. They found each other in the game in a less hostile setting. In this one, the episode ends with them being held at gunpoint by Sam and his brother. I can't remember his brother's name. His older brother.
Oh fuck. Shit. I don't remember.
I want to say it starts with a B, like Brandon or Brian or something, but
it was like Michael, wasn't it? I don't know.
It might have been Michael. I don't know. Honestly, I don't remember. I'll find it. What did you think? What was your favorite part of this episode, Joe?
Brian.
It was Brian?
It was Brian.
Oh shit! I said Brian.
Everything about Brian was good.
What do I win?
No, Brian was not the brother's name. Brian was the name of the guy who was choking out Joel and who Ellie shot him in the spine so he couldn't feel his legs. He's like, please stop. You're good. I'll tell him you're good. My name's Brian. What's your name? And he was trying everything in his power to like forge a connection with the girl so he could probably save his life. And Joel was having none of it. Joel just had Ellie leave and... Oh. Yeah.
That switch where he realizes that he's fucked and he's like, oh my God, I'm going to die.
Uh-huh.
That guy, whoever that guy is,
talking about his mom,
some sort of supporting actor television award, because holy fuck, that sent chills down my spine.
Yeah.
When he's like, he brings up his mom, he's like calling for her when he, that's awful.
Yep. That was a good way to show that in a very short span, to show that Joel was not always a good person. We already had inklings of that throughout the whole damn show, but that was a good, Joel's not a good person here. but also
Well,
it's not his fault. Like there's no
yeah.
good or bad in this situation. Well, no, they attacked first. They were just trying to drive by, but
Mhm.
still, it was definitely you fucking tried to raid us. You don't
Yeah.
get to be put in a position where you're you know holier than thou or mightier than thou, whatever. Obviously, Kathleen and her team see it as like, no, they attacked us. They must be working with these kids, and they've brought them here for blah 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 or whatever the fuck. But that was a very that whole scene where like the truck crashes. It's a bit different than in the games, but that's fine. The truck crashes and like he has to fight them off while Ellie is kind of hiding off into the side before Ellie saves him. Is fucking really good. It's a good. First off, once again, made me want to play Last of Us. I might just play Last of Us soon. Um,
I want to
but
also.
second, it just it perfectly encapsulated the world and the how it's like it's a shit ton of gray. There's a shit ton of gray here because in the game version of the events where Ellie saves Joel, Joel's getting drowned by a dude we don't know who he is, and Ellie picks up a gun, shoots him, and kills him immediately. And she's like,
Yes.
"Oh, I'm gonna throw up. Oh, what? You don't have a thank you for me, Joel? All this other shit, blah 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 blah." In this one, it's harrowing. It's a lot more like because Brian, his name is Brian, fucking does everything in his power to. In the normal world, that's what you try to do to get someone not to kill you, right? Like you tell them your name, you force a connection, but
Didn't matter to Joel. He knew what he
it
had to
matters,
do.
Joel.
See, that's the
Joel's
thing.
been through this.
It's funny that you mentioned. I mean, I know that Joel's probably done some bad things in the past, but yeah, really, I don't see that as like a bad. It's like, what else are you gonna do? That guy's just gonna go back to them. You have no idea how they're gonna react if they're gonna
Yeah,
trick them
no,
again. You can't let that guy live,
no.
unfortunately. Um, uh, it's funny because that scene, yeah, the like ambush and the car crash. I was like, oh, I remember this. And then like the guy attacks him. I was like, oh yeah, this kind of happens too. And then like that guy starts begging for his life, and I was like, this did not happen in the
This did not
game.
happen. He was
This
dead.
did not happen
We
in the game.
we didn't see that side of them at all.
Oh
They
my
didn't do
god.
they didn't do a lot of that in Last of Us Part One. They made them very much like bandit
Yeah.
assholes in
Hmm.
Part One.
Hmm.
Part Two is when they do the whole like there are other people on the other side of this. So to see them pull this trigger early and just be like, no, we need to tell the story now is awesome. It's very good to me. I am excited to see if they do go to Part Two with this show to see
I'm
if they
sure they
ever
will.
reference this back when Ellie gets on her revenge rampage kick. Um, God, Ellie was so good in this episode.
She was.
Goddamn, she acted her goddamn ass off.
You know, The Last of Us Part 2 does get much more like interpersonal with the people that you kill.
A little
And
bit
on
more
top of
brutal
that,
too.
yeah, oh yeah. But something that makes that game hard to play sometimes is killing the dogs. They make you kill the dogs, and
They attack you, dude.
I know, but
They fucking
it's
will
so
murder
hard.
you. Yeah,
I
yeah.
know. It's just as like I
Every
know
game
they're
where you have to
fucking
kill
with
a
me,
dog is hard. Every game where
uh,
you have to kill a dog is hard.
but it's like
Oh,
so intimate sometimes in that game.
yeah, yeah.
Ellie did act her ass off. It was very varied and great performance
Mm-hmm.
from joking around from that book to crying about having to shoot somebody
And
and
then
talking
going
about her
back to the
life.
book.
Yeah, and then going back to the book.
I fucking God that second to last scene where they're just lying down and it's like it's fucked up, but I need to say a joke right now to kind of break our tension and be normal. And also throughout the episode, Joel accepting Ellie more quickly than in the games, which is good by the way. I like this. I like this. Like you shouldn't have had to do that. Blah blah blah. Here, let me show you how to hold a gun. Try to take it from you so you can't. Blah blah blah. That shit is fucking good. It's this next bit with Sam and his brother is gonna be rough.
It's funny because I'm watching this show with my fiance, and she now doesn't know the at this point doesn't know the plot. And it's so crazy to me. I want to tell her like everything. I'm like, you have no idea how much worse it gets. Like it gets
Oh
so
boy.
fucking bad.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, I'm gonna because it's interesting to see somebody kind of react to it without having the
Oh,
context of the
absolutely.
games.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
and seeing it sort of work as a show on its own on somebody else is kind of cool. You mentioned the joke at the end and Joel ends up laughing at it, and I thought that it
Yeah.
was. I think one of my favorite things in this episode too was that Joel reiterates that Ellie is cargo to her at one point, but
Yep.
it's so clever to see the ways in which she is not to him,
Oh
because
no.
if that really were the case, he wouldn't really care if she was like reading that magazine that they found. He wouldn't really care if she was like eating too fast. He keeps like doing dad things
It does
to her,
bad things. It's
and
inherent. Like, oh god, when she was like, "They're not gonna find us out here, right?" No, they're not. It's like
and
okay, and
and
like
then
she goes
he
to
just
sleep,
stays up all
and then
night.
the has to fucking shoot. Like he's like, nope. Now I'm. He's the protector, man. It's what he is. They're really showing that off.
They're showing it off, and they're showing his walls come down like bit by bit in some bigger things like him laughing at that,
Mhm.
you know. But they're also just like, yeah, when they're like eating the ravioli, he's like slow down, don't eat so fast or something. And I was
Yeah.
like, that's so, he wouldn't do that if he didn't care, but he's like. And of course at the beginning when he like attacks the guy, clearly it's triggering some
Oh yeah.
memories for him.
Oh yeah.
um
Absolutely. Episode 1 where he fucking goes
yeah.
ham.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
beyond that, I feel like you're starting to see him care for Ellie as an individual also,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
appreciate like the things that make her her own person, like her dumb joke book and stuff. And man, it just is. It's gradual, but you're right. It is faster than the game.
And I like
Um,
it. I like that it's faster than the
yeah,
game. It's it's good. It's really good. I really enjoyed the Chef Boyardee joke. I don't know why that really got to me, but like, who made this? I'm like, oh, some dude named Chef Boyardee. Well, he's amazing. I actually agree with you. Just like, yeah, no, I 100%. I eat Chef Boyardee. This shit's great, phenomenal.
I wonder if
It's
he ate Chef Boyardee before the infection, or if he just was happy to have Chef Boyardee now.
oh no, he definitely ate Chef Boyardee before the infection.
And I feel like I'm not crazy about Chef Boyardee now, but if it had been 20 years since I had canned ravioli, I would be like,
That's
hell yeah,
fair.
give me the fucking
You
canned
know,
ravioli. That sounds
delicious canned ravioli.
awesome. How did you pronounce ravioli?
Ravioli.
Yes, that's how the Italians pronounce it.
Ravioli, ravioli. Give
Give me
me
the
the formioli.
formioli. It was the other brand that was mentioned in this episode was Starbucks, which I appreciated. Starbucks survived the apocalypse
And
in
yet
this
Starbucks got
universe.
shit on. Still, there's the thing that the Starbucks they used to have in the QZs everywhere. I'm like, yeah. You don't like coffee? That's
Yeah,
a nice little percolator.
but he did say that Starbucks coffee was fresher than the stuff that Bill had saved.
That's
So
true.
it was
That's true.
actually a nice little plug for Starbucks. I'm telling you though,
Maybe.
that driving sequence to Hank Williams, the shots that they got of the things that they passed by, the animals and the scenery and the fucked up buildings
Yeah.
was good, man.
No, dude. The like setting looks great. Setting always looks
I
good
know.
from episode 1. It's so fucking good.
I know.
Um. Ugh.
How are they doing it? I want to watch like a behind the scenes documentary about it, like a thorough one. Because I mean, of course, all that stuff that they were passing by was like CGI stuff, but it looks so good. And then sometimes they are walking around somewhere, like when he got out of the car to like there's a block in the freeway. It was,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were cars fucking set up,
They
and
were
there was
doing
debris.
things. Yeah, they're they're seeing the old like tanks and all this other shit everywhere. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Uh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you
I was
go.
just gonna say that like going back to the like forest scene where Ellie was like, "You good?"
But yeah, listen to
You
you.
just bouncing around. Okay. Going back to the scene where Ellie was like scared, right?
Yeah,
Because of the people in the forest.
yeah.
I think it's because she didn't trust those trees.
I
They
wouldn't trust those trees.
seemed kind of shady.
Oh, I get it. It's a fucking. You're just making up your own jokes from the book. I was gonna say I wouldn't trust those trees. She's lived in like a quarantine zone her whole life. She's probably never fucking seen a tree. She's been in a car twice. She's never smelled coffee.
That's true. It's like,
Be
how are you
terrified.
lost? Fuck off! It's my second day in the car.
Yeah, that was a tall order to put her in charge of that.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that they got anywhere was impressive. You know, I found something to criticize though. I found something to criticize. I remember
Okay.
something.
Go for it. Go for
When
it.
they drive off of the freeway at the beginning,
Uh-huh.
when they drive off of the freeway, they go through, the grass and then they go into the forest and they leave those tracks. They leave that huge fucking track from the freeway to the forest. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, we've got to be worried about people finding us." Why didn't he cover that?
Yeah, because I'm sure people driving on a giant road that's covered in forest trees will look off to the side when it's getting dark out to look for folded grass that would fold back up after a little bit.
All right, fair. Especially right by the road, I guess. It sort of went down a hill and into a field.
Yeah.
Overnight, they might not see it. And it didn't really seem like fucking anybody has a working car
No,
anymore.
no, they definitely were in the middle of nowhere, and he definitely just was like super precautious by not putting a fire and like just having a fucking lamp, shit like that.
That stood out to me because of the detail with putting the glass down by the door at the end before they went to bed, and also with the gasoline. The fact that they took the time to explain that they were stopping regularly to get shitty old gasoline from cars,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
like every hour. I'm like, all right, that's
Yeah.
more detailed than you needed to be, but at least that stops people on the internet from going, "How did they use the gas? That gas breaks down in this amount of time."
Mm-hmm.
That was my internet.
That was your gripe?
No, that was my internet griping voice.
Oh, got you.
I wasn't griping about it. I'm saying other people would have had they not fucking tended to that detail. And I would have been on TikTok and seen 6 different people be like, "Actually, gasoline breaks down over this amount of time."
I know.
I would have been one of the guys.
Yep.
Sorry.
I liked that he had a siphon. They tried. Their whole relationship is very well like explored in this whole episode. From the siphon in the beginning, where it's like, yeah, error, gravity. It's like, so you don't fucking know what you're talking about. You can wait in the car, like stupid shit like that. It's good. It was. I'm excited to see Ellie have a kid her own age to act around.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be interesting.
I'm excited to see what the aftermath will be.
You know, that moment with the siphon too was another real dad moment. I feel like he really wanted to know how a siphon works so that he could tell her.
Yeah.
You know,
he knows how to use it. That's all you really need to know. You know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I am excited about the next episode. How close do you think that they'll stick to the demise? Sorry, spoiler. Well, the entire thing is spoilers. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
How do you think that they will stick to the demise of Sam and his brother?
Let that be. So what? How many episodes do we have left in the season?
9, I think. It ends the week of March 14th. Pi Day.
I want the demise to be the last thing in that episode.
This coming episode? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
This coming episode, we need to build up their friendship and them getting to know each other. Give us an episode with them. I think we get an episode or 2 with Sam and his brother before shit happens.
Okay, fair. Yeah, I could see that.
Make that connection a bit stronger, and especially for those who don't know the story, they think like, oh, they've obtained some friends to, really get ready to
get real attached.
Yeah.
They keep doing that, man. Who was the other person they did that with? They
did
that
me
with
fall in love with Bill and Frank.
Oh yeah, well I guess that is who they did that with.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Love will goodbye.
They really did that with everybody, except for Tess.
Yeah. No, what? You didn't feel connected to Tess?
I mean, I guess more connected to Tess than in the game. I knew her better. But not on the level that, like, his daughter and Bill and Frank were like, oh my God. I guess you're right, though. Maybe they won't. Where do you think this season will end?
I think it'll end when we find Tommy and Ellie leaves.
Wow. Yeah, because there's so much still to cover. She
Mm-hmm.
leaves. He goes after her like in the snow. There's like that science lab that there's people running
Yeah.
around.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck. That's a long game.
Yeah, it is. It's a long game. I think because you want to end it on like a good climax, right?
Yeah, I
You
think
either
that
want
would
to
be
end it,
it.
you want to end it on like a cliffhanger. So I think maybe it'll be like when Ellie leaves and Joel convinces her, no, I'm sorry, I do care. And then bam, Joel gets injured, and Ellie has to take care of him. And then we go on break and we come back where in the game at this point we take control of Ellie. And it's been a bit, and she's been trying to take care of Joel by herself. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
That's when we should come back for season 2.
That would be good.
Or
Oh,
yeah, that's
I didn't
how I
even.
would do it if I want a long form it. I don't know how many because we have a few. What episode were we? Episode 4, and you said there's like 9.
I think there's 9.
Oof. Because yeah, otherwise I would have said if we had a few more episodes, I would end it with Ellie's boss battle.
What's Ellie's boss battle?
When you are hiding, running around in the shop, trying to find just anything to stab the dude who's trying to do terrible things to a young child.
I don't remember that. Probably
You
put it on my
don't?
mind because it was traumatic.
It was really traumatic for a boss fight too, because Ellie doesn't have a fucking bow. She doesn't have her shit, so she's just kind of sneaking around and like stabbing him and then running away when she can. And then eventually it doesn't matter. He goes and catches you, and eventually Joel is what saves her. But for a brief second, it's like fuck.
I hate when video games make me feel helpless, man.
It's good.
I want them to make me feel empowered.
You
I
need
don't
to
want
feel
me.
helpless
I don't want them
first.
to tie me up at the table and watch people eat people parts, like in Resident Evil 7.
Did you
Fuck
say
that.
Resident Evil was one of your favorite game series though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What's your point? What are you talking about?
It's gotta be a good balance, you know? Right, The
That's,
Last of Us. I don't know. The Last of Us
that
actually
depends
doesn't
on
have a good
genre
balance.
too.
Yeah,
Last of Us has a great balance, I think. You go
stealth,
from
you don't need the upper hand, you know? You
Mhm.
don't really need the upper hand, and as far as
Stealth
like
is
having a
all
big
about
fucking
getting the upper hand.
stealth is about obtaining the upper hand through like devious ways.
Hmm.
It's not you know what I mean, you're not like in Saints Row and you got like the giant dildo. You know?
Yeah, I
It's a
got
little
you.
different. It's a little
Fair,
different.
fair. Or in Cyberpunk 20 when you have the big dildo.
Yeah, what? You
Cyberpunk
do?
also has a dildo. Yeah.
Oh.
You have to
You know,
unlock it by having sex with somebody, and then in the room there's a dildo
you
that
just take
does
it?
non-lethal. Yeah, I just take it. It's non-lethal electric damage.
What other games have dildos?
GTA.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't
San
remember a
Andreas
dildo in GTA.
specifically. I think it was San Andreas specifically. It was in the hot coffee shit. After
Oh,
you do
okay,
that, you
okay.
can find the dildo, the big old dildo. Saints Row for sure has the
Yeah,
big old
San
dildo.
Andreas. Look at that dildo
Yeah.
in the police
Mhm.
station bathroom.
Yep.
Wow.
Ho, ho, ho.
I think that might cover it. I think there might be 3 dildo based games.
Dildo based games.
Yeah,
Dildo based game. That's the
it's
game's
like
all
the
about the dildo. Mhm.
dildo centric.
Dildo.
It
When I
says
think of GTA, I think dildo. That's right.
Oh, I looked it up and all it is like dildos that you can control like a video game, that's not
Oh,
what I meant. Although it is interesting. Um,
you've never done that before. You've never had you and your significant other haven't taken a nice stroll through Target and you have the power in your hands. You've never done that?
no,
No.
I can't say that I have.
Well, guys, we're running pretty close to the end of this episode. I'm looking forward to Last of Us episode 5 next week. It's Friday, you said? This Friday,
Yeah,
you said?
to
Friday.
to
Wow.
not compete with the Super Bowl, it will be
Oh.
Friday.
I'd still watch it over the Super Bowl. Anyway,
I'm waiting for the Puppy Bowl. So where puppies Puppies chase a ball up and
Oh,
down
is
the
it? Is that the? That's the game.
pup. Yeah, it's like a bunch of little puppies, and they just let them loose in a little pen. It's like it looks like a football field.
Mm,
You never
okay.
watched the Puppy Bowl?
No, I've never watched the Puppy Bowl.
Well, you should. It's good. It's little puppies.
Got you.
What's on your shirt today? Before we go,
This is this is my gym shirt. I got it from school.
property of Javier's school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I got
What's
it
the
from
bottom part say?
what
Oh,
for
for gifted youngsters, of
gifted
course.
youngsters. Yeah.
What does
And
it mean that you're property of Xavier's school?
the shirt is property of you used to like
Ah,
you know you know I don't I stole it after I you know
you stole it from Professor X's actual
well
school.
yeah well I was supposed to return it afterwards because they don't have a lot of funds, but it's I said fuck that guy, he's rich, you can give me a shirt.
Do you think that? Never
Mm.
mind.
Hey, today's Smash of the Cast is Shandi from the Saints Row series. She can
You
get
think
it.
that? Wait, who? From what?
Shandi from the Saints Row series.
You think that Wolverine could like just stab a couple of dildos and then stab people with those?
Thank you for spending some of your time with
Like
us
on this-
today, everybody. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
This is the dumbest fucking show.